And boop. What's up, everybody? So, I survived my birthday. Ah, you know what? It got me thinking, when is it you decided to stop celebrating your birthday? And I know this isn't for everybody because there's a lot of people who celebrate, and I am not knocking people who celebrate. Do what you do. For me, it was in my 20s. I don't know why, I thought 25 was the best year, the best number, and as soon as I hit 26, I'm like, nah, ain't no one got to know. I'm 25, 27, 25. Even all the way to 29, I was still telling people 25. I moved to New York and I turned 30 when I was in New York. So then, like, I met a bunch of good people, like, just great humans. And I want to say tricked. They're like, yo, come out to this rooftop spot. It's like, it's going to be real dope. We're going to celebrate XYZ. I'm like, okay, what we celebrate? It's like, oh, some release party, or they said some excuse. So I get there and they're like, yo, we want to welcome our boy Lamar to NYC. They set up like, they said some good things about me, which I was like, wow, this is 30. Okay. This is, you know what? Fuck it. I'm 30. Um, yeah, so I started caring. Like that was a good way to celebrate. But then after 30, none against birthdays. I don't know. I just stopped caring for them. They were just another day. Um, there are probably some deep rooted uh, issues or meaning why, but I haven't looked into it, and eventually I will. But yeah, nothing negative. I just like it's just another day. So it was a nice surprise when I had planned a pop up event on my birthday without realizing it because someone presented me the date like, hey, we're gonna do this thing on it and like we're gonna do this event on Thursday and we'd love for you to collaborate. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. My mind was not thinking about the date. They told me it was gonna be the following Thursday, and that's how bad I was with not remembering my own birthday. But I digress. But for the people who did show up, it was fun. I actually did a social media experiment. People's attention span, I heard, is like 7 to 8 seconds. So I created a reel kind of breaking down, like, hey, this is what's going on with the event. Love to see you guys. This is what I'm going to be offering. This is the whole vibe, blah, blah, blah. And at the very end, I kind of was like, yo, even if cookies and games aren't your thing, I was like, come wish me a happy birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday. And it's one of those, I don't watch a lot of like long reels, so I wasn't expecting people to, but I also didn't want to make my birthday a big thing. So it's kind of like, let me see who actually watches my reel. And yeah, a couple heads showed up and it was nice. One of the reasons I made it subliminal on IG is because follow up the next day. Oh man, I woke up to a lot of love, and I there's people I'm still need to respond back to. I'll get into responding, and then an order or something will come in, and I'm like, oh, I gotta digress, cut whoever I'm texting back, and get to the kitchen. That's the hardest things I feel like is just balancing work, friends, and associates. Uh, it's kind of the cards I dealt myself, not doing like a normal 9 to 5. So I am going to interact with more humans than the typical individual who's working like a normal job at a steady location. With me, I'm directly in contact with my customers when I'm doing events and just even just going out and doing PR work. So yeah, and there's a lot of people I really care about and who are there for me. But oh man, trying to communicate, it's hard for me. But I'm working on it. I am really working on it. I think I'm a good person. I'm just a bad friend because I'm a bad communicator, and yeah, it just comes with balancing, and that's what I'm working on now. Like I'm trying to make an excuse, but when I moved from New York and like moving back to Florida, the main reason was my mom. So like coming here, my head was not in the right space. But yeah, I made it happen. Um, through a lot of support, a lot of people having my back, a lot of people caring for me, a lot of people not deserting me, even though I know at times like when I was distant, when I was ghost, like they still were there for me, and I appreciate that because I make no excuses, or I try not to. But yeah, the doctor gave us 5 weeks, and we were able to keep spreading it. So it's one of those. The following year, I'm like, is she gonna pass? Okay. The following year, I was like, okay, is this the year? So I was like, I was afraid to, I don't know, to live, be my own person, get out because I'm kind of like, I didn't want to get too caught up, and then I don't know, like my mom would die, and so I was like, her being on her deathbed had me in a chokehold, and not a bad thing because like I couldn't imagine like if she didn't have me, like have a child because man, to see someone you love in that kind of condition, yeah, it was very rough. It was tough. It was very hard. I'm trying not to get too much into it, focus. But yeah, man, if I ever get like super sick right now, I can count on my friends hopefully, but man, if I'm ever like when I get to that age, oof, it's just hard to think about like who would have cared for her, who would have been there for her, if not me. But sorry, moving on though. Communication with people. There's so much going on in everyone's day to day life. It's for me. Yeah, let me just speak for myself. Like I want to communicate better, and I'm trying to make the time. I think I'm rambling now. I'm going to cut this. I already knocked off my Lego bonsai tree, and all the pieces fell out. So I am tired. I am exhausted. I'm tired. I'm gonna get some sleep. So I just knew I wanted to post something.